Friends, today is Wednesday, August 14, 2024. If Jesus is on our guest list, if we are taking his promise seriously that when we gather in his name, when we relate to others, counting on him being present, if we take that promise seriously, how does that change the way we relate? We talked earlier in the week on Monday about the fact that Jesus went deep. If Jesus is on our guest list, he wants us to go deep with others, not settle for the surface. And on Monday, if you look back at that video, we talked about all the different ways you can do that by facing challenges that are there in relationships and by investing time, by being honest and expressing real feelings, as well as initiating and encouraging people. We just had a wonderful list of ways. You can look back at that on Monday. Ways to go deep, and that's important. But Jesus also went wide. He went wide. In Luke 15, 1 and 2, these famous verses initiate this great chapter in Luke that has the story of the lost coin, the lost sheep, and the two lost sons, or the prodigal son. Now all the tax collectors and sinners were coming near to listen to Jesus. I want to stop for a minute there and ask myself and ask you, are we the sort of people that folks outside the family of faith that are not religious or irreligious or even antagonistic to religion, are we the kinds of religious people that nevertheless are attractive, that non-religious people want to be in our presence? It's a very interesting question, isn't it? That was the way it was with Jesus. Tax collectors and sinners were coming near to connect with him. The Pharisees and the scribes were complaining, and they were saying, oh, this guy, he welcomes sinners and he eats with them. So I talked about a minute ago about us going wide, but we also need to go, or going deep. We also need to go wide. And this passage hints that Jesus went wide. He went to the people who were crippled and diseased and marginalized and poor. He went to the people who were irreligious and in this category of sinners. He sometimes ate with his best buds who were committed to his ministry, like Lazarus and Mary and Martha and Bethany. And sometimes he ate with big crowds of people where it wasn't very intimate. 5,000 people he fed on one occasion. But a lot of times he had intimate meals with strange guest lists. He went wide. He wasn't afraid of differences and difficulties and people that were struggling. And so he went to table with them. He offered friendship. He gave them the gift of his presence. He opened the door to a relationship with them. I wonder how deep your guest list is. Because it can easily become, I know it's a fight sometimes in my life not to let it be narrow. And so my hospitality broadens out toward the need in the world. Let's take a minute and pray. Lord, help us to go wide as well as deep in our relationships. Show us how to embrace people in the way that you did.